Welcome, everyone. Welcome to your last Halloween story. Yep, yep. Today this story here will be my last Halloween story of 2025. And also another thing, Happy Halloween. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's yeah. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys had the best time of your life. I'm pretty sure, like at least some of you guys went trick or treating, or did some fun activities at school. I mean, like, I had a blast in my school. Cause over there, my school, there was like a Halloween dance show, and it was awesome. But but definitely a load of screaming, which sometimes I'm just not very good at withstanding a lot of loud screaming. But nonetheless, I enjoyed the time of my life during that show. And as you can see, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, tomorrow will be the end of Halloween in October, which tomorrow is gonna be November. So I'm sorry to you guys that you who are all bummed out and sad that Halloween is about to be over tomorrow. But nonetheless, but I hope this last Halloween story is gonna make you feel better. Which, as you can see here, the name of the story is called Demon Eyes, and it looks creepily cool. I mean, I'm judging. I mean, because of this creepy picture of what seems to be like the devil or a demon. Yeah, a demon with red shot eyes, with glowing red eyes. Yeah, and yeah, this is going to be the last Halloween story for this year. And as you can see by the description, is a creepy story about an old witch with a detailed fresco that contains a vivid depiction of the horrors of hell. Now I'm really psyched about reading the story, and as you can see here, it's a 19-minute read, and from the long story section. And so I decided to pick this one because this seems perfectly, I mean, this perfectly in sync for Halloween. But yeah, how once I'm done, I am done with recording this video, I'm not sure if I'll be able to upload it to YouTube because of the technical difficulty I'm having with my phone, where basically it's like refusing to let me load the video so that I can upload it. But yeah, if that happens, I'm so sorry to you all. I mean, I really wanted to upload this on Halloween, but unfortunately, it's just because of my phone. But don't worry, my dad promised. But don't worry, all good news is that my dad promised that he will buy me a new phone for Christmas this year. So yeah. Well, nonetheless, hopefully this hopefully that this last Halloween story will be worth it. Will be worth the wait, and I know that deep down you guys will really enjoy this story, and my channel, and me. So yeah. Nonetheless, let's get started. So sit back, relax, and watch me, and let me get myself locked on and be prepared to get jump scared, or at least shiver, or give or send shivers down your spine as I read the last story of Halloween, Demon Eyes. So all you can do is brace yourselves. So once again, this is Demon Eyes. Enjoy. Let's begin. There was a man named Mr. Jones who worked as a teacher in the local school. He wasn't married and spent most of his free time reading old books about art and architecture. His favorite pastime was taking trips to visit old churches and other buildings. One night, while leafing through one of his books, he came across a chapter about an old church 15 miles outside of the city that had a very elaborate painting on the wall. Apparently, the painting was from the 12th century and it depicted a detailed and intrication. Depict a detailed and intricate vision of hell. Bright and early the next morning, Mr. Jones hopped in his car and drove the 15 miles to the church he had been reading about. He had to walk across a muddy field and climb up the side of a steep hill, but eventually he followed a long path and arrived at the small church, which lay hidden beneath the shade of several ancient yew trees. The old wooden doors of the building opened with a creak, and he stepped inside. The church was very small, and the whole of the back wall was covered by a huge painting. Beside it was a sign that read, "Do not touch." As Mr. Jones drew closer, he realized that it was actually a fresco. The artist had applied the paint directly to the plaster on the wall. The design of the fresco was very remarkable and visually striking. Hell was represented by a series of concentric circles that spiraled downwards into a deep chasm lined with roaring flames. On the top level stood a group of people whose faces were twisted in despair. They were throwing themselves out of edge out. They were throwing themselves off the edge, on on to plummet to on to plummet into the depths of hell. The circles at the bottom level were populated by gigantic demons with angry, malignant faces who carried lances and pitchforks in their clawed hands. They speared the sinners who fell on their weapons and tossed them into boiling cauldrons full of blood and bones. The leering faces of the demons were extraordinarily detailed. They had gnarled horns growing from their scalps. Their forked tongues were hanging out. Their bodies were covered in thick fur. Their ears were long and pointed. Their huge feet were twisted into hooves, and their bulging eyes were the color of blood. "I wonder who painted this," mumbled Mr. Jones to himself. Whoever it was certainly had a vivid imagination. Mr. Jones bent down to examine the painting more closely. Some of the demonic figures were less distinct than others. One of them was vague and blurred. It was a demon who held some It was a demon who held some kind of weapon in his hand. The odd thing about it was that its eyes were bright red and they seemed to glow from an eerie, unnatural light. Oh, yeah, it's just it. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, it's just like from the picture. It's just like the thumbnail of this story. Yeah, that's exactly the that's the exact description of the picture, the thumbnail. All right. Oh, no. Oh no. Sorry to you guys. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going. Now I know where I've left off. Mr. Jones gazed at it in fascination, staring into to the demon's eyes. He noticed that the section of plaster on which the hideous demon was painted was cracked and crumbled. It seemed as if it was about to fall off the wall. Without thinking, Mr. Jones reached out and touched it. The fragment suddenly broke off and fell to the ground, leaving a small hole in the fresco. Mr. Jones was horrified. He had accidentally destroyed part of an ancient and priceless artwork. He was an unintentional vandal. He felt like a mischievous child who had accidentally broken his mother's best vase. Worried that someone would discover the damage and blame him, Mr. Jones quickly left the church and went home. Later that evening, a 12-year-old boy was returning home when he got the fright of his life. He was walking along the path outside the old church. It was growing dark, and the path was bordered with thick bushes and on both sides. All of a sudden, he heard a rustling noise in the undergrowth behind him. The boy picked up a stone and threw it in the direction of the sound. Just then, something black and hairy emerged from the bushes and, quick as a flash, climbed up into the trees. The boy was shocked and stared up into the branches of for a moment. He caught sight of two eyes staring down at him, two horrible, glowing red eyes. Terrified, he ran off down the path and didn't dare to stop until he reached his mother's cottage. That night, as Mr. Jones lay sleeping in his bed, he had a horrible nightmare. He found himself standing in a field in the middle of nowhere. The light was quickly faded, and in front of him was a great slab of stone which resembled an altar. A number of figures, clad in black robes and wearing grotesque masks suddenly appeared and grabbed him. He struggled, but he couldn't escape their clutches. They dragged him to the altar, held up a silver goblet, and forced him to drink from it. Suddenly, one of the figures tore off its mask, revealing the leering face of the demon in the fresco. Mr. Jones awoke in the cold sweat. His heart was pounding, and it took him a long time to calm down and reassured himself that it had all been a dream. The next morning, as he ate breakfast, he wondered what had caused him to have such a strange and disturbing nightmare. Perhaps, he thought, it was the guilt he felt about destroying part of the fresco in the church. After he finished his breakfast, drove out of the Mr. Jones drove out to the old church again, leaving his car in the parking lot. He crossed the muddy field, climbed the hill, and walked along the path until he came to the old building. When he arrived, he found a priest sitting in the pews, saying a rosary. Mr. Jones glanced nervously at the fresco, his eyes seeking out the spot where the damage had been done. The light was too dim for him to distinguish any details. Walking over to the priest, he tapped him lightly on the shoulder and asked, in a faltering voice, "Could I have a word with you, Father?" The priest looked up in surprise and said, "Yes, what can I do? Yes, what can I do for you?" "It is about the fresco," continued Mr. Jones. "I was in the church yesterday and something happened. There was an accident." "An accident?" repeated the priest in astonishment. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it, but I touched the fresco." "What? You touched the fresco?" interrupted the priest angrily. He leaped to his feet. "You mean to tell me you didn't see the sign instructing you not to touch it?" I am very sorry," said Mr. Jones, hanging his head. "What damage did you do?" said the priest, trying not to lose his temper. He walked over to the fresco and gazed at it anxiously. You see, there was a piece of the fresco. You see, there was a piece of the fresco that seemed to be detached from the wall," said Mr. Jones. "It was a piece of a demon painted on it. That piece over there." He pointed to the gap in the fresco where the plaster had fallen off. Then he stared at the piece of plaster and was lying on the floor. Where was the demon? This section of plaster was completely blank. "It's gone! It's gone!" exclaimed Mr. Jones in amazement. He picked up the piece of plaster and turned it over in his hands, but there was nothing on either side. The priest the priest grabbed the fragment of plaster and yelled, "Don't touch it, you idiot! You'll only do more damage!" He was shaking with rage and it seemed as if he was about to strike Mr. Jones. "Damn fool!" shouted the priest. "Get out of my presence! How dare you destroy this priceless work of art!" With that, he grabbed Mr. Jones by the scruff of the neck and hustled him out of the church. Then he slammed the door of the church behind him. Mr. Jones retraced his steps slowly along the path, down the hill and across the field until he reached the parking lot. He sat inside his car and put his head in his hands. He didn't feel very well. His hand was throbbing and his stomach felt like it was churning. Yeah, if only Mr. Jones hadn't broken. I mean, if only yeah, if Mr. Jones hadn't touched the fresco, if only if he would have listened to the sign that says "Don't touch it," then he would just simply just don't touch the fresco, or else he wouldn't have destroyed it in the first place. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes people are just irresponsible. Sometimes people just don't follow the rules. With that, okay. Later that afternoon, Mr. Jones woke to find himself lying in the mud on the muddy field. He had no memory of how he had wound up there. Picking himself off the ground, he tried to brush off the dried mud as best as he could. Then he made his way back to his car and drove home. Also, I forgot to remind you, right now, I forgot to tell you this, but I'm actually like right now I'm wearing my Halloween costume, but right now, but fortunately you can't see me because yeah, the face cam isn't on. I don't know how to turn face cam on while I'm recording when I'm recording a video. But yeah, but right. But yeah, it's true. Wearing my Halloween costume, my my skeleton costume, and right now I'm wearing a mask that goes within the costume for the rest of the evening and the whole of the next day. He laid in bed, barely able to move. He felt like he was recovering from a serious illness. Nevertheless, he went to work on Monday and taught the students in his school. Naturally, he said nothing to anybody about his experiences during the weekend. On Tuesday morning, however, as he read his newspaper at breakfast, he was shocked to see the headline. It said priest mysteriously killed outside church. Scanning through the article, Mr. Jones felt his heart leap in his chest. The priest he had met only a few days before at the old church had been found dead under mysterious circumstances. The body was discovered lying on an ancient slab of stone. The police believed he had been attacked by a large wild animal because his body was torn open and his internal organs had been ripped out and partially devoured. The article noted that the face of the corpse was contorted in an expression of terror. Mr. Jones sat staring at his newspaper while his breakfast grew cold. When he looked down at his hands, he noticed that there was something dark and red caked under his fingernails. Oh wait, that's it? Oh, that's the end of the story? Oh, I thought there would be a few more. I thought there would be a few more to the story. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it all ends here. And Mr. Jones sat staring at his newspaper while his breakfast grew cold. When he looked down at his hands, he noticed that there was something dark and red caked under his fingernails. Yeah, that's how the story ends. And and to my and and my best guess is because of the demon from the fresco. This one right here. Yeah, this picture of the demon with glowing red eyes. Yeah, looks like the demon had escaped from the fresco, and possibly must have killed the priest, and now he's coming back to deal with the person who destroyed the fresco and let the demon out of the fresco. So yeah, unfortunately for Mr. Jones, he's gonna have to suffer the consequence for destroying the fresco, as what the priest had said, or I don't know. He's just basically, yeah. The priest is basically like very pissed off, like freaking angry at Mr. Jones for destroying the fresco. Yeah, the priest was very angry at him because of for the accident he did. And now because of Mr. Jones, he let the demon from within the fresco out and killed the priest. And now the demon is gonna kill Mr. Jones too. So yeah, bye bye, Mr. Jones. You should have read the line. You should have read the sign of "Do not touch the fresco." If only if you do that, Mr. Jones, then you wouldn't have break the fresco and possibly release the demon out of the fresco. Yeah, unfortunately, man, your 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 time has come for your death, for your death. But well, that's it for this video, guys. Yeah, this was really a great Halloween story. This is really I really love this story. Yeah, this was the story Demonized. I'm really really proud that I've read this story. Like I'm really happy that I've read this story to you guys, even though that I mean, yeah, right now it's the end. Yeah, it's the end of October, and unfortunately, it's gonna be November next tomorrow. And yeah, I gotta be honest, I am a bit bummed out that Halloween is about to be over, because I had a lot of good times during this month. First off is because of the Halloween dance party, the Halloween party from my school. Second is the Halloween dance show, and finally is because of how I am practically famous. I'm actually popular in my school, mainly because of this one TikTok video I did on TikTok, which was titled "This Is My Revolution," and it magically gained like 22,000 views. Yeah, I really I'm actually honored for the amount of views it gained. Yeah, to be honest, when I first uploaded that video on TikTok, I didn't think it would gain that many views. But yeah, I'm really proud of my friends for watching that video, and others too. So yeah, this is going to be my last Halloween story, like I said before, like a few times. But I'm sure you guys love this video as well as I am. So yeah, for tomorrow I'll be back to reading normal scary stories. But I'm actually glad that I made like about 15 Halloween stories this year. Well, once I'm done reading the story, this will be my 16th Halloween story. Cause yeah, if I recall, yeah, last year's Halloween, I've only did like 8 Halloween stories, and the Halloween 2 years ago, I only did like about about 7 stories, which is not enough. Unlike this year's amount of scare Halloween stories I've did. So I'm reluctantly happy and and honored that it has been an honor for uploading that many Halloween stories to you guys. You guys are the best. And I know that and I know you guys feel the same way as I am now. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna have to say. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for watching this story and all my Halloween stories that I did for the past few weeks. But nonetheless, yeah, I'll come to you guys. I'll get back to you guys in the next normal scary story. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, I'll see you in the next story. So yeah,